How would you children like to suck on my chocolate salty balls?
Oh, you mean like a chocolate candy?
No, I mean my balls.
What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to another edition of Smashed Balls, a South Park mashup review right here on the SMB South Park Review feed. I'm, of course, your host in the heat and I can't be beat. I'm your guy with hair the air is dry, your boy MSG. This week on our Smash Balls review series, it's Joe's top choices. Some of Joe's favorite episodes he's reviewed and been a part of right here on our podcast platform. And if you enjoyed the review or you like the episode we're talking about, go back and listen to it in full by going to SMB South Park Review on all podcast outlets or linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. We'll be back, of course, in a couple weeks with a fresh new Season 12 review, but we hope you enjoy Joe's choices right here on the second episode of Smashed Balls.
Sexual harassment, Panda. Everyone wants to cash in on this episth, Joe. Not like that segue. Now, this episode is Season 3, Episode 6.
Right.
South Park. Interestingly enough, I mean, this will be kind of part of our trivia, but we kind of just need to talk about it now.
Mm-hmm.
They pretty much don't even remember making this episode. They've come out and said it publicly on like the DVD. You can see it in the interviews. I have it here in the notes, I believe. That they just don't even recall making the episode itself. So, and that's because it came right after the movie premiere. So They were just, and they make their movies on a weekly basis, right? So, or they might have been making a little bit slower back then, but even so, they're still making in short periods of time. So the movie debuts, then they hit back to the studio and start making the next episode of South Park. So this is a complete blur for them. However, I still say it's not a bad episode. People want to think it's a bad episode. I've heard that, and I'm like, it's not bad.
No, and it has a lot of good commentary on it and everything. And I mean, like, there was only one kind of glaring thing that kind of jumped out to me. And then when I thought about it, I'm like, oh, this could have been like pre-produced pre-movie or post-movie, but we'll get into that.
Everyone in South Park, guys, is suing everyone else after the school gets a visit from Petey, the sexual harassment panda, having used the message for the wrong reasons. Because here's what happens. The show starts off with Mr. Garrison. He's in the classroom and he starts to explain what sexual harassment panda is. Now, initially, which I always thought is interesting, like when Cartman gives his answer of what he thinks sexual harassment is, it's still a valid answer. That is sexual harassment. So we're going to go to this clip here to get started because, you know, it's Cartman's. Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Like, I want to show you guys pictures.
It's all about sexual harassment in school.
About what?
Now, does anybody know what sexual harassment means? Yes, Eric.
When you're trying to have intercourse with a lady friend and some other guy comes up and tickles your balls from behind.
No, Eric, that's not what I'm talking about. The school board has sent over a special guest to teach us all about sexual harassment in schools. Please welcome Petey, the sexual harassment panda.
Is what Cartman was describing as sexual harassment, or is that a soft swap?
But he said when you're trying to get with your lady friend and another guy comes up from behind you and tickles you in the balls. Like, that's sexual harassment. You're trying to get with your lady friend and another dude just came up and tickled you in the balls. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not touching that. Like, I was already making a lifestyle joke and it probably shouldn't have been made.
No, I mean, I guess if that's what you're, you know, if you're in a consensual sexual triangle, I guess.
Right.
Then yeah, I guess it fits. But Cartman seems to be innocently or innocuously asking, like,
yeah, no, I know. I'm just.
But I think it is sexual harassment.
I'm just, and it totally is. I was just like taking a turn for the yeah. I grew up in Vegas. Like, I was 20 minutes from the green door. Nothing surprises or shocks me.
So the panda comes in, and of course, you know, I can't play the lyrics here for copyright. I'll probably insert it on the podcast if you're listening. But who lives in, you know, why don't we just listen to it? We
can sing it, right? Like, we can sing it.
You can, but let's just listen to it for the podcast. So this is for the podcast. If you're watching YouTube, sorry, go to the podcast because I don't want to get hit for copyright.
Who lives in the east neath the willow tree? Sexual
harassment.
Panda.
Sexual harassment to you and me.
Sexual harassment.
Panda.
Panda.
Don't
touch that.
Don't be nasty, says the silly bear. He's going to tell you what's right and wrong.
Sexual harassment.
Panda.
Hi, boys and girls.
Hi, boys and girls. Sexual harassment panda, guys. So yes, the sexual harassment panda comes in and he's basically going to teach them about sexual harassment.
Right.
I just wonder where they got the idea to make the character a panda. You know, because by the end, like at least it kind of makes sense. It rolls off the tongue. With the
Right.
But sexual harassment panda. I mean, it's funny.
Yeah.
I mean, but could you think of another animal that I guess could be a panda instead of a panda?
Not really. I can't think of one.
Sexual harassment spider. I don't know.
Right. And I thought maybe it was a pedo bear reference, like, but they couldn't go pedo bear. But like, I can't remember when like pedo bear entered the zeitgeist and pop culture and stuff.
Interesting, Joe. Interesting.
And like it was just like one of those things that like I didn't catch as a kid, but like later on, I'm like, wait, is that like a pedo bear? Like a really like kind of like you got to know what you're looking at reference for pedo bear.
So it says the bear character originates from the popular bulletin board, as you mentioned, BBS 2-channel in Japan, where it was introduced in the form of shift_JSI art or kuma, an interjection of the word kuma meaning bear in Japanese. Unlike pedo bear, kuma has no sexual connotations, pedophilic or otherwise. Although initially appearing as a single line, various modified, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't really give a date. Let's see, mainstream media. The picture they're posting is 2010, so that's got to be later.
Oh yeah, that's way later. This is like
July
3rd,
2009. 2009.
Okay, yeah. So then I was totally off there, but like, and that's why it never clicked with me until much later because pedo bear wasn't there until much later.
Cartman learns that ass sucker is an offensive word. He's like, it's right here that I can sue you for saying that word. And Stan's like, what? No, you can't get out of here. And then the panda's like, well, actually, when one panda wants to sue the party of another aforementioned panda under the panda civil laws, this is accepted. So we go to court.
Wasn't it Stan he sued, not Kyle?
Oh, did I say Kyle? I thought I said
Yeah,
Stan.
we said Kyle called him an ass sucker. It was Stan, I think.
I thought I said Stan, but anyway, Stan.
Or we can rewind and like you can pop it up like Joe's a fucking idiot right here if I turn out to be wrong.
That's a lot of editing. So maybe I guess I'll do it now.
Nah.
So anyway, so Stan calls him an ass sucker. And now they're going to court. Like it goes dun dun dun. Like you might say a Law and Order type 90s character music, right? Bum bum bum. So they go to the courtroom, and we got a judge, and apparently, Cartman is suing Stan. And not only that, he hires a lawyer. He's like, yeah, my lawyer's just parking the car. He'll be here in just a moment. And Kyle's like, you got a lawyer, dude? That's where Kyle talks. And then his dad comes in. Dad? Oh, hey, Kyle.
Yep, that's it. Yeah.
So he hires Gerald Broflovsky after Stan called him that ass sucker. So now soon what ends up happening based on a lot of this is the whole town's going to go into a disarray, but the court scene is hilarious. So let's cut to a scene here because the judge is like talking to the different witnesses. Did you or did you not see a student call another student ass sucker? Yeah, because he is a little ass. Yeah, because he's a little ass sucker. Yeah, here we go.
Your Honor, my lawyer is just parking the car. He should be here any second. Dude, he got a lawyer?
Sorry I'm late.
Dad?
Oh, hi, Kyle.
All right, let's get along, shall we? Now, Eric Hartman, you claim that Stan Marsh has sexually harassed you in school.
That is correct, man.
Yeah, it's correct,
Well, whatever. He talked about having oral sex with my ass. I called him an ass sucker. Yes, that was it. I was I couldn't concentrate the rest of the day. And the way his eyes kept looking at me, slowly going up and down my body, like he was undressing me with his face. What? Cartman, you call people names all the time.
As you can see, Your Honor, my client is too upset to continue.
Mr. Marsh, what do you have to say?
Cartman's crying in the background.
For your defense.
I'm 8?
I'm 8.
All right, this seems pretty open and shut. Stan Marsh, under the new sexual harassment in schools law, I am forced to find you guilty.
Huh?
All right, we did it.
Hooray!
Since
Hey,
the defense
hey!
no monetary resources, it is the judgment of this court that 50% of Stan Marsh's belongings are to be handed over to Eric Cartman immediately.
So,
How
we
do
haven't
people hate this episode?
I was gonna say, hold on. We haven't. I guess I might have jumped in, so that's my apologies. We're actually. This is only the first court case. The second court case when Mr. Garrison appears, and we'll go to that clip here in just a second.
Yeah.
But this is the first court case because he sues Stan initially, but all because he's under 8. As Stan goes there, what's your defense? I'm 8.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
great
yeah.
defense.
Because
That's a great defense.
while he's grabbing Stan's shit, that's when Gerald gets in his ear, like, yo, we should go after the school. Like, that's like, and like before that, and maybe I'm wrong, it was like Gerald, we knew Gerald was a lawyer, but he almost seemed like the kind of public defender lawyer, or like he always seemed like a good guy. And this is like the first time we see kind of some like sliminess, kind of ambulance chasing side of lawyering from Gerald.
All right, well, let's go to now to the real clip. Mr. Garrison, he's in the courtroom here, and he's very sexist, misogynistic towards the judge this whole episode, or at least in the courtroom. Okay,
Judge.
The question, did you know that sexual harassment was going on in the classroom?
No, I had no friggin' idea.
Mr. Garrison, do you know the definition of sexual harassment?
Of course, and so does Mr. Hatt. We do not tolerate sexual harassment.
You are the witness here, Mr. Garrison, not Mr. Hatt.
I'm sorry, Toots.
Did you or did you not hear my
Sour
client being
tits.
called an ass sucker?
Yes.
And you did nothing.
Well, he is a little ass sucker.
Mr. Garrison, I will remind you that we are in court.
Okay, baby, I'm sorry.
Principal Victoria, were you aware that my client was being harassed at your school?
Well, not any more than any other student.
Oh, so you admit that harassment goes on?
I don't know.
You don't know? You're the principal.
I can't be around every second.
So it does go on.
All right. I killed him. I hit him over the head and I cut up the body. I tried to burn it, but it wouldn't burn. Oh, the smell of it. I put the leg.
Oh my God.
The torso under a bridge. I had to do it. Oh, God.
Principal Victoria, was Eric Cartman called an ass sucker? Yes or no?
Yes, I believe so.
Absolutely zero dams about the body she burned and threw over a bridge.
I actually want to play this commercial. It's about Kyle's dad.
Yes.
So
Oh my God. Call me. Kyle's. Sorry, not gonna.
He doesn't even say his own fucking name here. This is ridiculous.
I ruined the punchline. I'm sorry.
It's fine. Fine. No, it's okay. It's funny. Here we go.
Kid, are you tired of being harassed at school? Sick of being called a homo? A farty pants? A butt? Face? Then call me, Kyle's dad.
Kyle's
and
dad.
I'll help you close the lid on sexual harassment in school.
After a boy in my class tried to put his tongue in my mouth, I knew I needed legal help. Kyle's dad helped me get a $1.6 million settlement and this bright and shiny bicycle. Thank you, Kyle's dad.
Thank you, Kyle's dad.
Kyle's dad got me $1.4 million, and he can do it for you too. Just look at all these beautiful girls.
So call me, Kyle's dad,
Fucking Craig.
because it's not about money.
Clyde.
It's about...
Fuck you, Clyde.
Wait, what am I saying? Call me.
Kids picking on you, well, don't be sad.
Just sue their asses with Kyle's dad. Just sue their asses with Kyle's dad.
Kids picking on you, Will. Don't be sad. Just sue their asses with Kyle's dad.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Welcome back, guys, to another edition of Suck My Balls, where we review South Park for you in linear fashion. And this day has come. We have gotten to Season 8. This is Suck My Balls, episode, are you ready for it? Are you ready for 115? 115. Ooh. It is the 112th episode of South Park, so we're always 3 ahead, of course. And this is Good Times with Weapons. One of the greatest episodes of South Park of all time.
Certainly a fucking banger.
It's a freaking banger. And you have to really grow up and understand to really appreciate how much you love it.
This episode goes hard.
Okay, that makes sense. So yes, good times with weapons, and Joe is going to steer us. He's going to navigate us while I present us with some of our factual clips.
Good Times with Weapons is the first episode of season 8, 112th episode overall. Originally aired St. Patrick's Day 2004. I don't know. So basically, this episode sees the boys transformed into anime-style animated Japanese warriors after buying some weapons and deciding to do what kids will do with weapons and have an adventure. So obviously, now that they have the weapons, they immediately go to play with them. Stan has the 2 Tonfa, Cartman bought the pair of Sai, Kyle the nunchucks, and Kenny, of course, a shuriken, because that is something even he can afford. Although it's about 1%, 1 or 2% of the bare minimum Scoop Jackson would pay for a shuriken. So they start pretending that they are ninjas, each with their own individual powers, on an imaginary adventure through town. In the situations, the animation changes from the construction paper cutout style to basically stereotypical anime style, where there's heavy line work, a lot of detail in the bodies and the muscles and everything. And they, at the time, display it in a letterbox or widescreen format, which, you know, if you look at it in standard def nowadays, it's like this much of the screen. But
well, let's show the introduction here.
I become the great and powerful ninja Shadow Hachi, born to fight evil and people I don't like. Yeah, and my powerful
people I don't like.
Bunraku, a deadly but compassionate ninja who protects those in trouble. What's your ninja name, Kenny? Yes, and I am Pura, tough brute ninja who has dedicated his life to eradicating the world from hippies. All right, ninjas, let's go protect the world. Kick ass.
Kick ass. And then he goes in his letterbox from right, like you're talking about, because it's squished now.
You guys, you know what we should do? We should go show our weapons to Craig and those guys. They'll be so jealous. No, dude, we can't go around showing our weapons to people. Our parents might find out we have them. You see, guys, this is why Jews can't be ninjas. They've got no spine. You don't know anything about Jews, fat ass. Oh, yeah?
Typical anime.
Mel Gibson's movie, The Passion, and Mel Gibson says you are snakes and you are liars. And if the Road Warrior says it, it must be true. Don't worry, Kyle. Craig's not going to tell on us. Come, ninjas, let's go.
I like this part. Now they're going to just roll up just to fucking bracket Craig.
Yes, the residence that belongs to the one called Craig. I still say this is a bad idea.
Man, yeah.
Ninja positions. Hello, Craig. Look what we got.
Look what we got.
Where'd you get those?
We
can't tell you where we got them. It's secret ninja stuff. Ooh, is that jealousy I see in your eyes, Craig? Yes, drown me in the sweet water of your envy. They're not that cool. Yeah, they're not that cool. These are real, authentic weapons from the Far East.
Authentic.
But don't tell anybody we have them.
The Far East.
Whoa, where'd you get those? Let me see. We'd love to hang out, guys, but we have important secret work to do. Yes, the life of a ninja is complex.
Work to do.
Come on, ninjas. Hello.
And full of peril.
They were so pissed. Like,
yeah.
Now shut the door. Fuck these. You know, he's probably yelling, "Fuck these guys."
Now they're on their way after leaving Craig, and Craig, Clyde, and Token, and making them super jealous. They're walking around and they come across Butters, who of course wants to play ninja with them. The boys, since they hate Butters, refuse and send Butters home. This, of course, as we all know, turns Butters over to his dark side, where he dons his cape, bracers, and helmet and becomes Professor Chaos, bringer of destruction and doom.
Now, do we know for a fact that they hate Butters? They hate Butters?
Okay, maybe hate was the wrong word. They enjoy making Butters' life hell for sure.
I'd say Kenny probably likes Butters more than any of them. I think Kenny kind of goes along to get along.
But they definitely think he's lame.
But they definitely find Butters to be lame for sure.
So they don't like him, and that's why he wasn't invited. They didn't let him play with them.
Screw you, Butters.
All right, so yes, he comes back as Professor Chaos here. Let's take a look at the fight scene now between those four boys, our four boys, and Butters when he comes back. It's Professor Chaos, bringer of destruction and doom.
See into the future and find out where we should head next. Hold on, you guys. I actually have another power. I can see into the future too, but better than Kara. Let me try. God damn it, Carmen, you can't keep making up powers. Yeah, dude, that's
We
like
all
the
have
fifth
that
power
one
you've come
friend.
up with. I am Blue Rock, and I have lots and lots of powers. No, asshole! From now on, you only get to have one power. So what is it? I have the power to have all the powers I want. That doesn't count, fat ass! Yeah, that's it, Carmen. You don't get to have any powers. Meh. Well. Introducing the four ninjas. Who the hell is that? I don't know. Craig, is that you? Fools! I am Professor Chaos, bringer of destruction and doom! Your feeble ninja powers are no match for me! Whoa, looks like we have a sworn enemy, you guys. Ooh, very well, Professor Chaos. We'll play along. Now feel the fiery sting of my Tonfa of Takanella! Hey, kid, that knocks you down. Nuh-uh. Yeah, I got you. Nuh-uh, because my cloak is made of a titanium alloy that shields me from heat. That's bullcrap. Titanium alloy, my ass.
That's
Well, let's see how it
bullcrap.
likes the icy blast of my nunchucks of Kuromoto. A nice attempt, ninja. But now both of you shall feel the power of my web of holding.
Web of Holy.
The animation here is amazing.
Yeah.
Now you are both trapped in spiderweb.
You're both going to Spider-Man. Okay, so
All
now,
right, Dicko. Time for you to pay.
Kevin, Harris.
Oh, no, I have no powers. Kyle took them away from me. Quick, Kyle, give me back my powers so I can fight this evil villain. Okay, you can have your powers back. All right, and now I use my power to turn Kyle into a chicken. God damn it, Carmen! Now you are a chicken. Enough! I grow weary of your foolishness. Professor Chaos cannot be stopped. Oh, yeah? Kenny, use your ninja star.
Oh.
Right in the eye. Oh.
Right in the eye.
That was always what it, like he has to think about it for a second and let it register what's happened before he just starts screaming bloody murder.
Oh,
I think
man.
that would happen to anybody. To be
Now,
honest.
we know Butters is naive here, and I was bringing this up to Scoop while we were watching this. I was just like, yo, if I was Butters, like, I would not have stuck around. Like, as soon as I got ninja starred in the eye, I would have fucking booked it, dude. Like I know you're in shock and shit, but, like, fuck these guys. They just threw a ninja star in my face. Like, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
No.
I know.
Go home.
That's just me. I know, go to the hospital. Like, fuck these guys. But yeah, go home too. Like, if you're close to home, that's
you're
closer.
closer, yeah.
Yeah, if you're closer to home, go the fuck home where your mom is sitting at right now. Like, after you took the pad.
Oh my god.
So the boys shaved down Stan's star dog Sparky to disguise Butters as
That is a gay dog, Stan.
yes, to disguise Butters as a dog and begin to take him to the animal hospital. It is at this point that they are encountered by Craig, Clyde, and Token in the legendary battle.
It's Tolkien.
Tolkien.
Oh yes, you're right, Tolkien.
We can't be gas. We can't be gaslit.
We don't want to be
forever
pieces
anymore.
of shit.
Yeah, can't be pieces.
I want to be a piece of shit, Joe. I'm trying to be a better person.
Shit.
Okay?
I'm trying not to be part of the problem either.
Don't be part of the problem. Be part of the solution.
I called 1-800 I am a giant.
Recognize your white privilege and recognize that you're a piece of shit.
Oh, believe me, I recognize both.
You're a piece of shit.
So at this point, they're encountered by Craig, Clyde, and Tolkien. And
The Battle of Okinawa or Okinawa?
Yes.
Okinawa?
Yeah. The legendary Battle of Tolkien. whatever it happens.
Begin. I guess we'll get into the clip here. Let's
and that's when we hear one of the most amazing songs in the history of the series too.
Of course, as you mentioned there, Joe. Let's jump right in here to this clip. This is the clip in regards to "Hey Hey Let's Go Kikasaru." You're talking about the amazing "Let's Fighting Love" song. So
yes,
let's do that.
This area until you defend your honor. He said not now, Craig. I am not Craig. I am Ginga.
Ginga.
With the powerful blade of the Kinkama.
I am Black Jakku.
Black
With the
Jakku.
power of perfect spelling.
Guys, we're really not playing today.
Oh no, power of perfect spelling.
What's the matter, fellas? Are you
Pussies.
ninjas or pussies?
I like how.
We're twice the ninjas you fags are.
I like how
Right
as
on.
soon as
Very well,
Jimmy,
Claire.
I was pointing this out, as soon as Jimmy, the handicapped person,
Sword to
says
never fight
something, then
again.
Cartman
You don't
gets
have a choice,
pissed. Now
Kyle.
they're gonna
Just humor
fight.
them. Yeah!
Here we go.
素晴らしいチンチンもの金玉の亀あるそれの音サルボボいえ忍者がいます Hey hey let's go 金化する大切なもの Protect my balls どこが悪い So let's fighting Let's fighting
Let's fighting love.
この歌ちょっと
I like this guy. Guy drives by just fighting. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, it's great. They're like, what the fuck are these kids doing?
Wait. Hold on a second. Where's Butters?
Where's Batters?
Yeah.
Hey, you enjoying the reviews you're listening to right now? That's awesome. Do us a favor, head on over to linktr.ee/SouthParkPod and check out some of our social media sites and landing pages. We're also available on YouTube, on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, as well as all social media outlets. And you can download us on all of your favorite podcast outlets. SMB, a South Park Review. Now back to Smash Balls.
Stanley's Cup is the 14th and final episode of Season 10, the 153rd overall episode of South Park, and the 156th episode of this podcast. You know what that means, MSG? That means at least you have been doing this for 3 years. 52 weeks in a year.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Right. I mean, especially by the time this airs, will be technically, I guess, 7 days away from our first episode. And that was a pilot, the Jesus versus Frosty, Jesus versus Santa. So, yeah, you're right. It's coming up here on the 3-year mark.
Yeah. So
that is crazy.
Thank you. Congrats to you. Like, I think I've been on like half of it at least. But
yeah, you joined us around like Suck My Balls episode 50, 60 time frame. And then we added on Dane. And Dane will be popping in from time to time when he's available, of course. And, Scoop's in school right now. But yeah, so we appreciate you guys. Happy holiday season. If you're listening to this, we appreciate you. And we appreciate you being part of the SMB crew army, whatever you want to call it.
Yes. So it originally aired November 15th, 2006. Stan Marsh hits rock bottom when he has no job, no bicycle, and his only way out is to coach the local Pee Wee hockey team. And this is probably why MSG hates this episode.
Well, I guess that would be another thing too. I don't like hockey. I'm not a big hockey fan. Like, I worked for a hockey team and it was fun to watch inside the stadium. But I don't watch hockey on TV. But go ahead.
Oh no, I meant with the whole Stan Marsh as the dude doing the movie trailer stuff.
The movie trailer guy. I guess I'm not necessarily. The movie trailer guy doesn't bother me too much about this episode. I don't know. It's the whole story, the whole art, the story itself. I think is just. I'm like, I don't really like this story. It's,
but fair enough. We'll get to that later. We're putting the cart before the horse here.
Tell the fucking story.
Our episode opens in the office of Stan's boss, Mr. Jarvis. He's complaining to Stan that Stan hasn't been doing his job as a paperboy very well. Stan explains how he has to go to school and he's not really able to do his job. because he's going to school, he can't do his job as well all day. As he's saying this, Mr. Jarvis is like, hey, your bike's being towed. Stan fails to stop the bike from being towed, and now he's in danger of losing his job. So he goes to the city to try to get his bike back, and he finds out in order to do so, he has to coach the Park County Pee Wee hockey team. Now, if you live somewhere where Pee Wee hockey isn't a thing, or you don't really know what it, Pee Wee hockey is like 4 to 5 year olds who can barely walk, let alone skate, getting on ice and learning how to play hockey. Occasionally, you have a kid like Gretzky or Crosby who just like, was born skating or something and looks phenomenal. But like, if it's usually the only reason you enjoy it is because it's kids learning the game. It's the hockey equivalent of T-ball. Would probably be the best way to put it.
I'm on mute. You can't hear me sign.
I'm trying to.
It's not your fault. Background. It's not your fault. It's just this episode. Okay, first off,
don't you do this to me. Don't you do this.
The start of this episode is stupid. Like his bike gets towed. He's a child. Continue.
Well, that's because of the stupid law that bikes are technically.
Oh, now we're going to apply real laws to this, Joe, where the bikes are getting towed.
I think it was making fun of a real stupid law. But anyway, moving on. You're right. It is kind of ridiculous. So Stan is told he has to coach a Pee Wee hockey team. Stan goes down to the local ice rink, meets the team, and sees that the kids are basically 4 and 5 years old and don't have the coordination required to play hockey at a very good level yet.
Are these bikes registered with the DMV?
I don't think they need to be.
I'm sorry, I'm still on about it. How do they know it's his bike?
I don't know.
Yeah, all right.
That's because he went up and told them, hey, it's my bike. And they're like, oh, sucker.
Well, that was afterwards. They were just taking it, though, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So, like, he is like, hey, that's my bike. And they're like, well, sucker, you shouldn't have told us. You would have avoided charges. But of all the kids on the hockey team who are untalented, uncoordinated, unable to play properly, there's a little boy named Nelson Brown who clearly is ill, and we find out he has cancer. I believe it's leukemia specifically. And so Stan is already trying to deal with this. Meanwhile, back at the Marsh house, Randy has learned that Stan is coaching the Pee Wee hockey team, and he believes that this is some type of redemption plot or angle for Stan for messing up in a Pee Wee hockey game at the Pepsi Center, which Stan doesn't even remember.
Okay, let's jump into some clips before we get too far here.
I know, it's just...
No, it's not your fault. Joe, you're doing fantastic. My disgust is just for this episode. I'm just like, oh, great. I got to watch this for the second time.
Boy, for the South Park Gazette is a noble privilege. I'm sorry, Mr. Jarvis. It's just that I have to get up at 4 a.m. to deliver your paper, and then I go to school all day.
Oh, wah. We've all got problems, pussy. Get used to it. You aren't delivering the papers on time.
My bike had a busted pedal, but I got it fixed, so there won't be a problem anymore.
Is that your bike out there?
Yeah, why?
Because it's being towed.
What?
I'm saying it just rolls up and tows a bike.
Hey, what are you doing?
This your bike?
Yes.
It's on the impound list. You owe the county for tickets.
How do they know? The blue bike.
No, dude, I need my bike to do my job.
Yeah, well, my job is to tow this bike. If you want it back, you talk to the county.
No. Do not tow my bike. Stop,
Wait,
asshole.
why did he chain it up?
Oh, shit.
Oh, my gosh.
He chains it up to make sure it doesn't get away from the... Even if it falls off the one hook, the crane hook, it still doesn't get away from the vehicle. It gets dragged behind by the tow truck.
All right, jumping into City Hall now, as you mentioned, with the nice guy.
Young man, he's got a great family, a promising paper route. Only problem is, his bike's been impounded. But now, he's about to find out that getting his bike back isn't so easy.
Look, I really need my bike.
All right.
Well, I'm afraid I can't give it to you, because then you wouldn't learn anything.
What do I have to learn? This isn't fair.
Whoa, hold on. I've looked your case over and
Oh my God. Okay, I got to that scene. So yes, he got impounded, and then now you started to talk about it. This is like really the only redeeming part about this whole episode is Randy. Just Randy being so upset about Stan losing that Pee Wee hockey game. That's really the only thing.
He didn't even lose. See, he did the one thing that to Americans at least is worse than losing, and that was tie.
Right.
God damn, they were pissed off about that tie with.
Dude, not like that tie. I know.
Tired. I'm going to bed.
There's Randy.
What are we going to do, Sharon?
What?
Don't you get it? He's getting back into hockey to prove something to himself, so he can forget what happened in that Pee Wee skirmish.
Stupid.
Maybe he doesn't remember. He was only 4.
Oh, he remembers. I'm sure it eats at him every single day.
Go to a flashback here.
And we're about out of time here in yet another scoreless Pee Wee hockey game. That's number 7, Stan Marsh, skating towards the goal, sort of, but he doesn't have the puck.
I grabbed him! Mommy, I grabbed him!
Stupid.
Oh, and it appears the goalie has pooped his pants. Oh, and look at this! Little Stan Marsh actually has a shot at the goal! Oh! Stan! Shoot it! Time is running out. Stan Marsh with a chance
How long
to
his
win.
hair is.
You got it, Stan!
Take the shot! Take the
It's
shot!
the most part of the episode. And then he missed. He doesn't make the goal.
Oh, that's the end of the game, and how disappointing.
Randy, what's wrong?
Oh, Sharon, it was horrible. It was like I was living it all over again.
We're back. Full crew. We're in the house. We're ready to break this thing down for you. And after an infestation of head lice in the town of South Park plagues South Park Elementary.
Yeah, it's fun. Everybody has it. Everybody has it, but everybody denies it.
Spoiler alert, what the fuck?
Oh shit, my man.
Mr. Garrison refuses to name any names. He won't name names. And Cartman finds a way to detect who has lice in the hopes of making fun of his unfortunate classmate. We have the right to make fun of that classmate.
We have the right.
Is Cartman.
So we can rip on him.
We can rip on
him.
High schoolers or Cartman kids. They want to take him down.
Yeah, and he has an ingenious way to do it too.
We're all going to start off and review this episode for you. So this episode starts at the school when Mr. Garrison, or I'm sorry, Miss Garrison. No, sorry,
Is
it's Miss.
No, it's still Janet Garrison at this point. She's got her.
It's Miss Garrison.
Is it still the V? Do we still got the little?
Yep. She still has the V.
The episode starts out at school. Miss Garrison enters the classroom, informing the students that there has been a lice breakout at school in Denver, and that the school needs to make sure nobody, and I mean nobody, spreads it.
Because the lice is somehow going to make the 2-hour trip.
Hey, it could have. Those kids are traveling back and forth on the weekend, maybe is what the proverbial thought was, and then they were getting, hey, what's going on to McDonald's? You want to be my friend? I can be your friend too. And then lice transfer.
Matt does that when he actually goes to McDonald's.
So let's start off this episode, as we mentioned, inside the classroom with Mrs. Garrison coming in.
Ooh.
students, let's take our seats. Apparently, we have a little problem here at the school which we need to talk about.
Ah, yes. You mean the Jew problem. Good, good. I'm glad we're finally going to do something about it.
No, I mean the problem of head lice. There's been a lice breakout at a school in Denver, and we need to make sure nobody spreads it here.
Somebody might have lice? Ew!
So today, you're all going to the gymnasium to have your scalps examined.
That is completely unnecessary. Everyone knows that only poor people can get lice. The only person that can spread it here is Kenny.
I'm sure this class is clean, but we're going to be examined so that if anyone has the lice, we can stop it before.
And I love how they make you think it's Kyle here until that very last second.
Zooms right into Clyde's hair, and it almost looks like an Avatar-like universe.
Dang, and this was before Avatar, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know, man. And this basically looks exactly like the new one. CGI and all.
We need to set this next scene up here. As we zoomed in on Clyde's head, it zoomed in onto basically the crux of our story, what this episode is about. And that's about lice. It's a story of a man's trial to overcome the challenges of a world falling beneath him or crumbling beneath his feet, literally. It's a man who's looking to find, well, hope. As we get introduced to the Lice Capades portion of this episode. That's what this episode itself is titled. You love this episode, so give us some backstory on how this starts out.
So we basically start out on Clyde's hair, where we see a lice by the name of Travis discovering a human doctor who is inspecting their world. Basically, this is around the same time that the nurse is inspecting all the fourth graders. And so the lice sees this eyeball, like comes eye to eye with it, like pretty like horror. It was like a very Jurassic Park moment, like when the T-Rex eye comes up against the window and shit. So
I remember that being a pretty good movie. Yeah.
Scoops of Jurassic Park is a big fan here, so
yeah.
At this point, Travis begins to theorize that not only is the world sentient, the world in which they're living on, aka Clyde's head, but that there are other worlds around it. Basically, it's the locker theory from
the head of Clyde Donovan.
Yeah,
he's the parishioner of this land.
Yes,
the parishioner. Yes,
and
I am a ghoul, man.
I'm a ghoul.
And he's basically trying to warn everyone, like, "Hey, we gotta stop fucking around, otherwise the world is gonna strike
Man
back
Bear
and
Pig is
kill us."
coming.
Right?
It's about the same thing, honestly.
Yeah, it really is.
Climate change, Joe?
Yeah, I was gonna say it could totally be taken as an Al Gore or allegory.
Oh my god!
I see you.
Holy
I
shit!
see you.
God, if Al Gore could get any lamer, I didn't think it could, but look at that.
Right?
Allegory. That's amazing.
Yes, I dad joked the fuck out of that.
That was incredible.
So Joe
pulled back the curtains, showed us
Joe
who you really are.
Yeah,
Joe has set this up for us up here.
Yeah, and basically even though Travis is warning everyone, it's already too late.
It's already it's going to be too late. So yes,
it's the day after tomorrow.
It's the day after tomorrow. So let's go ahead and we'll zoom in on the life of a lice.
God, I wish that were me. There he is.
Hello, Kelly. How's my baby?
Kelly.
Me or the little one? I mean both. Well, besides a little loneliness waiting for Daddy to come home, I guess we're both okay. How did a louse like me get so lucky to have a louse like you? Luck had
That's
nothing to do
benefit.
with it, Travis. Keep the lights turned down! Cut! You okay? Sometimes. I just worry what kind of world our baby is gonna grow up in. I need to run out to the forest and do another sediment analysis. I'm worried we might be overworking the tertiary layer.
The fucking walk cycles of these little lice is amazing.
Yeah, and he's got like this 6 or 8 appendages and everything. It's great.
So basically, from there it's at that point, we find out that the doctor guy, or is the geologist, we'll call him the Randy of the fucking lice.
Randy.
He goes
to Randy if he were competent.
Right, the Randy if he were competent.
Sorry about that whole weed thing.
Sorry about that whole weed thing. He goes and takes sediment samples of the land and finds out that the land is moving, the land is changing, it's evolving, and I don't think it likes us here, right? So he's trying to he's trying to convince the president and the vice president, more importantly, Mr. Vice President,
Mr. Vice President,
to like, hey, we should probably move the fucking colony and get the fuck out of here. But
yeah,
no one listens to him. So it's at this point, Clyde went to the doctor, like you mentioned, and he's gonna get some lice fucking medicine. And here's what happens when Clyde takes a shower, which I like this. They're like, yay, it's the rain. I love the rain.
Oh my God.
It always starts out so innocently in these disaster movies.
I love the rain.
Just Matthew Broderick looking at the sky going like, oh, the clouds are pretty today. And the clouds start shitting acid.
Some kid playing with a toy boat. Hiya, Georgie.
It's raining.
That's it.
Now?
Yeah. It's a big lice. That's like a Cartman lice there.
Yeah.
Sure gave Clyde some time in the shower here.
Yeah.
Well, remind me every 5 quintons, okay?
It's crazy.
Oh my God.
Oh my.
We have to get out of here.
Starting to get worried.
rain.
The rain is getting heavier.
Now, Kelly.
Kelly.
That looks fine.
Bugs.
Bunch of green ooze coming through the trees.
It's just so gory. It's so.
Literally, the green ooze is melting the lice.
Yeah, it's just straight acid.
And it's like, it's so dramatic what's going on.
Yeah.
All on Clyde's head.
Their running hair follicles are falling around them.
Get up into the trees. We have to get
We got to get high.
You have to get up high in the tree.
Come on, get it.
Jesus.
Oh my God, Travis.
There was one of the lice holding up her baby lice to try to protect it from the acid. And I'm like, you guys really get away with too much sometimes.
Yeah.
Give her, Kelly.
So I think that also in this scene, it's interesting. They do, of course, one of those cliche scenes where the one person can't hold on, they fall, and their arms.
Yeah.
At least they went with the arm snapping off in this case. Like she wasn't
Instead of letting go. Yeah.
Like she died because her arm actually snapped. When you're like, wow, that's a lot of force.
Yeah.
Clyde did turn on the blow dryer, so.
Yeah, and just let him go flying.
Yeah.
And like as he's doing it, they're like faintly in the background screaming.
Yeah. It's just like the goriness and like the screaming and terror of
disgusting.
everything. Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the opposite end of Clyde, not his ass, the top of his head.
Right.
He's
Ass cooties.
He's got lice still remnants, right? Little remnants of lice that have survived because of Travis telling everybody to get up into the trees.
Kelly, into the trees, Kelly.
As Kelly died.
Kelly,
no.
Melted.
Kelly.
Well, actually, fate worse than death. She just flew until nothing.
She just died.
Yeah.
And, so he's got his hope, and then there's a couple other stragglers as well as Mr. Vice President.
Ugh.
Travis is like saying he's basically taken over this group now because he's in charge, or at least it seems that way.
He was put in charge by God when he killed Kelly.
Right. They're like, who put you in charge?
God did.
God put me in charge when he killed my
way.
It's so good.
All right, so let's jump into that here because I think that's the very next scene where everyone's kind of like reacting to the green
atrocity that just
of all their family and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mark, you have to hang on. This isn't going to stop. The world is rejecting us. If we're gonna live, we have to get off this planet. How? First, we have to get out of the forest, into the Forbidden Zone. It's the only way we might even see another planet. The Forbidden Zone will be exposed. We'll die out there. We'll die here. Look, the world is getting rid of us. Don't you get it?
Getting rid of us? You mean like it knows what it's doing?
Yes. Because maybe we rolled the dice too many times.
That wasn't me.
I'm not leaving my husband. Yeah, I'll take my chances here. You can all stay here. I'm gonna try to save my baby.
These fucking lice.
My
stupid.
I'll go with you. There's nothing left for me here.
So used to me making the noises. You looked right at me.
That and the other one that I fucking hate
But I think you're right.
when you do that one. I fucking hate that noise. I gotta fucking edit that shit out. It's horrible. That one.
Come on, you're coming, Mr. Vice
Squelch,
President.
squelch,
Fucking Dan
squoosh.
does the.
Yeah.
Whoop. He's
Right.
doing that one. Yeah. As you saw.
Oh, he's got a gun.
All right, lock that door.
All right, so we got a little Planet of the Apes going on, the thing on Cartman's side. I get it. You know, it's not that hard to pick out here.
God put him in charge.
When he
Like,
killed
okay,
my
I guess, Cartman.
wife.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this edition of Smash Balls. We'll be back next week with some more of our favorite moments and episodes here on SMB, a South Park Review. Again, check out linktr.ee/SouthParkPod. We'll see you next week.